Hey everyone, and welcome to the English Effect. So today we're diving into something that's, well, it's pretty high stakes, right? It's that moment you meet someone new professionally, those first few seconds. We're going to break down exactly how you can master that introduction and really own the room. Okay, so I want to start with a number that's kind of scary, honestly. 7. Just 7 seconds. That's it. Research shows that's literally all the time you get to make a first impression. Think about that. Before you've even gotten a full sentence out, the other person's brain is already making up its mind about you. Are you competent? Can they trust you? Do they even like you? It's wild. So you're probably wondering, why so fast? Well, there's actually a name for it. It's a cool psychological concept called fin slicing. Basically, it's our brain running on a super old survival program, making these incredibly fast judgments to figure out what's safe and what's not. But here's the kicker. In the business world, if you don't pass that 7-second test, you're basically spending the rest of the conversation just trying to catch up. It's a total uphill battle. All right, the first 7 seconds. But look, we're not about fighting uphill battles here. We're here to win. So in this session, we're going to give you all the tools you need to absolutely nail those first 7 seconds. And of course, every single moment after that. Okay, so your 2 professional pitches. Here's the first big secret. Not all introductions are created equal. In fact, we can boil down almost every professional situation into 2 basic types of pitches. You've got one for people outside your company and a totally different one for people inside. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the difference here. When you're talking to someone externally, like a client or a partner, your wall is all about communicating value, right? It's about what you can do for them. But internally, with a colleague, the goal completely shifts. Now, it's about communicating your function. It's just about helping them understand where you fit in the big picture of the company. Okay, let's break down that external pitch. So many people, and I mean so many, they say something like, "Hi, I'm Mark. I work for Tech Solutions." And look, it's fine, it's standard, but it's also kind of low status. It makes you sound like just another employee. Now, here's the expert move. It's a tiny, tiny change, but it makes a world of difference. You say, "I'm with Tech Solutions." See that? It immediately sounds different. It implies you're a partner, an authority figure. You're representing the company, not just working there. So once you've said who you're with, you got to hit them with your value. And this is so, so important. Nobody really cares about your job title. Seriously, what they care about is what you can do. So use this formula. It's like a secret weapon. We specialize in, then a verb with an ing, and then you state the result. So instead of saying, "Oh, we sell software," which is kind of boring, you say, "We specialize in helping businesses reduce their operational costs." Boom. See? You're not selling a product, you're selling a solution, a result. That's what people remember. All right, now let's completely switch gears. Imagine you're meeting a new colleague for the first time. Your goal here isn't to sell anything, right? It's just to connect and make things clear. So you can totally drop that high status, "I'm with" language. The best phrase to use is super simple and friendly. "Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm part of the marketing team." It's perfect. It immediately puts a pin on the company map, so they know exactly where you are. But wait, don't just stop there. Marketing team can mean a lot of things, right? It's a huge department. So you want to be helpful and add some detail. Add this simple phrase, "My main focus is," and then just say what your specific area is. So the whole thing sounds like this. "I'm part of the marketing team and my main focus is digital strategy." Now your colleague knows exactly what you do and, more importantly, how your roles might connect. It's all about making collaboration easy. This brings us to a really practical point, formality. Here's a great rule to live by. When in doubt, go formal, especially with a new client. Always start with the safe default. Use their title, Mr. or Mrs. Wilson, and a formal good morning. Because think about it, you can always get more casual later if they invite you to, but you can never really go back from being too casual. It's just awkward. Now with colleagues you see every day, of course, you just use first names and a simple, "How's it going?" All right, next up, mastering conversation flow. So you've done it. You've nailed the first 7 seconds. High five. But what now? An introduction is just the beginning, the opening act. The real skill is turning that opening into an actual, flowing conversation. Okay, let's talk about this phrase, "Pleased to meet you." This is your absolute gold standard response. It's perfect, polite, professional, positive. But, and this is a big but, how you say it is everything. It's the difference between sounding like you're reading from a script and sounding like a genuinely confident, fluent speaker. And here's a little pronunciation secret for you, a real game changer. It's called the schwa sound. See, native speakers almost never say, pleased to meet you, with a hard ooh sound. Instead, that little word to gets reduced to a super soft, quick sound. It's more like ta. Listen closely. Pleased to meet you. Hear that? It just flows together so much better. It sounds natural, effortless. And let me tell you, in the business world, effortless is just another word for confident. So, how do you actually move from the introduction into a real conversation? Well, you need a plan. And it's a simple 3-step plan. Step 1, start with a safe topic. Something easy, like the event you're both at, or maybe travel. Step 2, you have to listen. Really listen. You're listening for a hook, a little detail in what they say that you can ask more about. And finally, step 3, you ask a pivot question. This is your magic move to gently steer the conversation from small talk into something more professional. Let's look at a real example here, because the difference is night and day. Someone says, I just got back from New Zealand. The amateur response, oh, cool. And that's it. Conversation over, dead end. But the expert, they hear the hook, New Zealand, and they ask an open question that invites a story. Wow, that's amazing. What did you get to see while you were there? You see the difference? You're not just replying, you're opening a door for them to share something.
Okay, let's talk about leveling up, becoming a super connector. This is a genuine leadership skill. Once you're comfortable introducing yourself, the real power comes from how you introduce other people to each other. When you get this right, you become one of those people everyone wants to know, a super connector.
So here's the key. You have to avoid what I call the dead end introduction. You know the one, Sarah meet David, David meets Sarah, and then awkward silence, right? No, you have to give them what's called a social hook. Give them a reason to talk, a little piece of information that gets the ball rolling. So instead you say, Sarah, let me introduce you to David. He's our incredible head of design. See? You just did all the hard work for them. Now Sarah has an instant conversation starter. Now, we can't talk about introductions without talking about, well, everything but the words. You might have seen this before, the famous 738-55 rule. It's based on research that says when we're communicating, our actual words only account for about 7% of the message. Crazy, right? 38% is your tone of voice, and a whopping 55%, more than half, is your body language. It just goes to show you what you're doing often speaks way louder than what you're saying. So you could have the most perfect, well-rehearsed introduction in the world, but if your body language is off, it's all for nothing. These 3 right here, they're the essentials. They're non-negotiable. A firm, confident handshake. That signals confidence right away. Consistent, engaged eye contact. That builds trust. And a real, genuine smile. I mean, that's just human nature. It's basically a universal sign to lower defenses and build a connection. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's wrap up with a quick-fire round of the most important phrases we've talked about. Think of this as your professional toolkit. Okay, let's go. First up, the foundation and the pitch. For that power move with a client, it's I'm with company name, followed by your value pitch. We specialize in helping businesses, and then state that awesome result. And of course, your rock-solid response is always that smooth, pleased to meet you. Next, for interaction and connection. Inside the company, it's I'm part of the team and my main focus is your function. If you need a smooth icebreaker, I don't believe we've met is your best friend. To really build some rapport, a little flattery goes a long way. I've heard great things about your work. And finally, to be that awesome connector, let me introduce you to. All right, so we've given you the psychology, the strategies, the exact words to use. A lot of the time, confidence is really just good preparation. And now it's time for the most important part, actually putting this stuff into practice. So here's your homework, your challenge. I want you to take the formulas we talked about today and craft your own external value pitch. The whole I'm with and we specialize in introduction. Put it down in the comments below. I seriously want to see what you all come up with. And hey, if this was helpful for you, do us a huge favor and hit that like button, share it with someone who might need it, and of course, subscribe to The English Effect for more. Thanks so much for watching.